Hello and welcome back to the channel, guys. So today we're going to be testing the RTX 5070 Ti Gigabyte WINDFORCE edition of the card. We're going to be playing Cyberpunk 2077. I'm going to be pairing it with the Ryzen 9000X 3D. And I'm going to be running 32 gigabytes of DDR5. Here's how the GPU looks inside of the ASUS Hyperion case. Alright guys, let's get into the video. Right guys, so we are going to be starting out with 4K. We got DLAA on as well. No ray tracing at the moment. I do have everything fully maxed out, as you guys can see. Ultra settings, Psycho. Literally max settings basically, and we are getting around 35 FPS, but we are in the Dogtown area, guys, so the Dogtown area is more intense. Let me turn my mic a little bit down just so it doesn't... Yeah, there you go. Hopefully you guys can hear me over this car, because it's so loud, this car, honestly, it really is loud. But yeah, we're getting around 35 FPS, which is not really amazing, but then again, it is the Dogtown area, which is intense, and it is 4K, guys. 4K is just, you know, it's just hard to run, honestly, and it does look really nice, though. Really nice with 4K, though. It really does look amazing, but yeah, it's hard to run, of course. And we are using 9.5 gigabytes of VRAM. It's climbing slowly, so we might hit 10 gigabytes in a minute, but, you know, we got 16 gigabytes with this GPU, so it's completely fine. The 1% lows are not looking... I mean, they're not really too bad, considering we're not really getting much FPS anyway, so dropping to 20 is not really a big difference. Right, guys, so we're still in 4K, and I did put DLSS on quality now, and there you go, guys, the same settings as before, fully maxed out, apart from ray tracing. There you go, we're getting 60s now, so it's not actually too bad. 60 FPS, there you go. And like I said before, it's Dogtown, so outside of Dogtown, you're probably going to get around 75, something like that, so if you're not going to be in the Dogtown area, you should be completely fine. You know, over 60, you're going to absolutely love it. But in the Dogtown area, you're going to be around that 60 mark, which is, you know, it is going to be dropping a little bit as well. You do have to keep that in mind. But honestly, guys, with this GPU, with the 50 series cards, I would recommend using that MFG, basically, because MFG is so good, guys. I literally use it in every game that I can put it on. Of course, like Battlefield and all that, I don't really put it on. But, you know, in single-player games, I do really recommend putting on MFG, especially if you do have... The new 50 series cards are really good. MFG is fantastic. I think you should be using it if you're paying extra for the Nvidia card. I think you should be using that feature. Generally is a really good feature to be using, I think. But I'm going to go through the settings quite fast, guys. I don't want this video to be 30 minutes long, so I'm just going to change the settings constantly and, you know, just show you guys the performance, because there's no point sitting there for 3 minutes on one setting. Alrighty, guys, so we're still in 4K, as you guys can see there. DLSS on quality, and I do have ray tracing on as well. Now, I did restart the game just to make sure it did apply properly, and there you go, everything's literally fully maxed out. Let me turn my counter on. There you go, we're getting 42 FPS now, which is not really amazing, guys, honestly, but I would probably put DLSS balance and then just enable MFG, and you probably, like, I think you would get a really good experience in this game. But if you do want to have that ray tracing on, of course, and I think you should actually put it on with this GPU, because you are paying for that, you know, for them Nvidia features, and MFG is amazing. But I will test MFG in a minute to show you guys what kind of FPS you can expect from it, basically. But yeah, this game just feels so good with MFG, though, so that's literally all I play it with now, literally. MFG, of course I play on the 5090 though, but I literally crank everything up and I just pop MFG on, and I'm really happy with the performance, because of course if you don't use the features, guys, the performance is not going to be amazing. This game is so old, but it's still really hard to run when you don't enable the features, so it is a beautiful game, though. It doesn't feel like this game is like, what, 5 years old now, something like that. So yeah, it's been nearly 5 years since it came out. It's actually crazy. But yeah, we're using nearly 12 gigabytes of VRAM, which is actually quite insane. It's always when you enable that ray tracing in this game, it just starts eating that VRAM really quickly. Especially if you enable path tracing, you're going to be using like 14, 15 gigabytes, something like that. Alright guys, so we're still in 4K. DLSS balance. Ray tracing on as well. And there you go. Max settings still. And oh wow, we actually did get a big bump there for putting it on balance. So yeah, I do actually recommend balance, guys, and the game still looks really good. It looks really good still, so I would actually recommend balance instead, and you are getting a little bit more FPS. Of course, you're going to get better latency when you enable MFG as well, when you have, you know, balance and not quality, because you are getting a little bit more frames that are normal. So I think we got like, I don't know, 8 to 10 FPS more. Something like that. It's hard to tell because we are, you know, moving around and FPS keeps changing, but something around there. We did get a really decent bump from quality to balance, and the visual quality still looks really good. So yeah, I would definitely recommend putting on balance there. And after this, I'm going to put MFG on, but sadly I have to restart the game, which is a bit annoying, but what can you do, guys? Yeah, it seems to be all right. Sadly, still not that 60 FPS, but outside of Dogtown, guys, you are going to get 60, so should be completely fine. It's just in Dogtown area. I'm just testing the most intense area, basically. This is also the newest card that they added into the game. It's been a few, I think, months now since it came out, but still a new card, so really nice card. You have to do a mission for it, basically, but it actually shoots as well, so I'm not going to be shooting now, though. I don't want to. Hey guys, I'm still in 4K, and I still have I put quality back on, and also I am going to test path tracing because I have seen a lot of comments in my 9070 XT video. I forgot to test it in 4040p. I mean, it's not really a big deal because I wouldn't recommend, you know, path tracing on these GPUs, but I'm going to test it regardless because I just remembered I was going to test frame generation now, but I'm just going to quickly show you guys path tracing. And yeah, path tracing, of course, fully maxed out still. Of course, the performance is not amazing, guys. We're getting 30 FPS, which is not really playable, is it? So, but just showing you guys quickly, just in case someone is curious. Not really amazing performance, but I think if you do enable like DLSS performance and ×4 MFG, you can definitely enable path tracing. Then I'm going to test it later, but you know, with these settings, you probably wouldn't want to play without frame gen. Honestly, you do definitely need frame gen for this. Yeah, 25 FPS, and of course this is the most intense area, so it is getting even less than it would have been, you know, outside of Dogtown. But still, I mean, it's still not going to be that playable, is it? Probably going to get around 40 FPS outside of Dogtown, and that's at best, to be fair. So yeah, it's still not going to be amazing performance. All right, guys, so we're still in 4K, DLSS on quality, frame gen ×4. We still have path tracing on as well, and let me show you. There you go, guys. So full max settings there. We are only getting around 100 FPS, and I'm saying only because, you know, it's ×4, so there's not many real frames, and it does feel delayed. And look at that wheel at the front, guys. It's really shimmery. Yeah, it's really shimmery there. So I would definitely tell you guys to put on some DLSS performance if you are planning to play with path tracing on this GPU, especially in 4K as well. I'm going to show you guys that in a minute. You are going to get better performance. I think we're going to get like 140, something like that. So it's going to feel way better. But I mean, it's still playable like this. But you can definitely feel the delay. Let me actually hop out quickly. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to want to shoot like this. The delay is definitely there, guys. It's definitely there, so would definitely recommend putting some DLSS performance if you are planning to play with these settings, basically, with path tracing. Alright, guys, so we're still in 4K, DLSS performance, and we have frame generation ×4. And there you go. Path tracing is on and everything. Max settings still. Okay, so we are getting like 140, just like I thought. Definitely feels way better now, guys. This is way more playable now. I genuinely, when I didn't have the 5090 for a little bit, because I did send it for a repair. I didn't have it for 2 weeks. When I was playing this game, these were exactly the settings I was using. So I really enjoyed it like this. And you can't really feel that delay anymore, guys. Like, this is perfect. This is what I would be playing. These are the settings I would be playing with, basically. And that's the settings I played with when I didn't have the 5090 for a bit. So really good settings, I think. And, you know, you should use that MFG, guys. You are paying extra for the NVIDIA card just to have that feature. So I definitely think you should be definitely using this feature. And especially if you have a 4040p OLED as well, like most people are going to be pairing this card with a 4040p monitor. So if you guys can get OLED or something, 240 Hz, you know, pop this on. Of course, you're not getting 240 in this game, but there are games you definitely are going to get, like with, you know, MFG, you're going to get like 200 probably FPS and 4040p. With 4040p, actually, you should be able to get that in this game as well. So, you know, it's just going to be a great experience. Honestly, it really is. Like, with the 5090, I constantly keep getting like 400 FPS with MFG, and it just feels amazing on this monitor. And I think it's the best selling point of the 50 series, the MFG, literally. So I do recommend you guys popping on. I do say in my comparisons a lot, I really do like MFG, and you don't really feel that delay that much as well, like with MFG. So honestly, I think people that talk about you know, that they can feel the delay. They've not really tried MFG too much. Like, I genuinely don't feel it that much, guys. I really don't. Like, especially in a game like this when, you know, you're driving around and stuff. You are going to be shooting a lot as well, but it's not really that bad, guys. Honestly, it really isn't. Like, I've got 320 hours in this game. I've played it enough, and, you know, I've been using frame generation even on the 40 series card. On the 40 series card, it was way worse. I do have to say, it was way worse on the 40 series card, but, you know, on the 50 series cards with the MFG, it does feel really good. Like, you can feel a slight delay when you're shooting, but it's definitely still playable, honestly. When you're driving, you barely can feel it, literally. It's just when you're shooting, you can slightly feel it, but when you're driving, it's fine, honestly. It's really not a big deal, so... Alright, guys, just before I go to 1440p, I thought I'm going to test this one setting in 4K as well. So, 4K and, of course, DLSS on quality. And I do have frame generation ×4 on. And I did turn off all the ray tracing, and I do have everything fully maxed out here, as you guys can see. Everything's on ultra there. Just wanted to show... you guys, without ray tracing and, you know, MFG on and all that, what you can expect, basically, what type of FPS. And if I get anyone complaining in the comments that I didn't test some setting, I'm going to be angry, honestly, because I've been in 4K now for so long. Like, probably like 10 minutes of the video is going to be in like 4K. So many settings I've tested, so hopefully it's more than enough for you guys, honestly. If I see one comment saying, oh, you didn't test this, you didn't test that, I'm going to be like, man, come on. I don't want to do these videos for too long because I've noticed that many people, like, they will probably just click off already. They will just click to the next setting already. So, because they saw that it's 200 FPS at the start. So, but yeah, guys, it feels even better now. Of course, like before with the path tracing and that, you know, it was still decent, honestly. But now you got even more FPS, even more real frames in there. So, it does feel a little bit more smoother and a little bit less delay. But it's, you know, it's still great, honestly. And before it was great as well. Absolutely love MFG, like I said before, and I think I'm just going to go straight to 1440p now, guys. You know, just wanted to quickly show you this setting just in case someone is curious, because I know I'm definitely gonna. I would probably get a comment if I didn't show this. So yeah, I'm just gonna. There you go. I showed you guys. Right, we're going to 1440p finally. Alright, guys, so we're finally in 1440p. DLAA on, and no ray tracing at the moment, no frame generation, and we are on ultra settings. Right, we're getting around 70 FPS, which is actually pretty good, to be fair. It's not too bad. Yeah, this is actually not too bad, but we are, like I said before, in Dogtown, so it's the most intense area. You're going to get probably around 10 to 15 FPS more outside of Dogtown, so expect around like 85, maybe 90 FPS outside of Dogtown. It does depend, because look here, we're getting 65, so yeah, just, it really does depend, but around 10 to 15 FPS more outside of Dogtown. We're using around 8.5 gigabytes of VRAM, something like that. The 1% lows are dropping. This game does have these moments where when you keep driving and stuff, it keeps like freezing for a little second and like loading something in. So it is going to happen, guys. It keeps happening all the time, sadly. Other than that, though, it's actually pretty decent, I have to say. DLAA. I don't have a native 4040p monitor, so it's hard for me to see, but like how it would look like. But definitely in 4040 on a 4040p native monitor, it should look fantastic, because even on the 4K monitor it looks really good. So it definitely should look really nice on the 1440p native monitor, basically. The VRAM keeps jumping up and down as well. Like, it was on 8.5, now it's on the 8 now, so I don't know what the hell's going on there. But alright, guys, so we're still in 1440p. DLSS on quality, no ray tracing, no frame generation, still on ultra settings. Ooh. Okay, so we basically got like what? I could say even double the FPS there. That's actually quite crazy, to be fair. 120 FPS just by putting DLSS on quality. That's crazy, guys. 120 now. That's actually really insane, I would say. Really big bump in performance. So yeah, I definitely do recommend you guys playing with, you know, DLSS on quality there. If you don't want to use frame generation. But yeah, it's actually running really well now. Really smooth. Really, really smooth. And every time I test Cyberpunk, guys, I am seeing some weird shimmering without RT. I don't know why that is. I can't remember how I fixed it before. I think I enabled RT and the shimmering was going away. Like, I don't know if you guys can see. I will probably zoom in on the editing when I'm editing the video, but I don't know why that shimmering keeps happening. It generally always happens. I remember when I was doing the 5080 video and the 5090 video, I had the same issue. So I don't really know why that is. I think it was like, I don't know, when I enabled ray tracing, it was just gone. So I don't really know what the hell that's about really, but maybe the sharpness of the DLSS is causing it. I've had that in the past. That was happening as well with the DLSS, like when you have the sharpness thing on the DLSS thing, it basically makes the game sometimes shimmery. It does depend on the game though. Some games it works fine. I think this game it might not be, but I'm not sure. I would have to test that. But anyway, guys, yeah, 120 FPS, and that's in the most demanding area in the game. So yeah, you should be getting way more FPS outside of Dogtown. Literally, probably. Alright, guys, so we're still in 4040p, DLSS on quality, and I did put ray tracing on as well. No MFG at the moment, and there you go, guys. Ultra settings there. And we are getting around 75 FPS. So we're getting around the same FPS we were getting with DLAA, basically. Without ray tracing and all that. But yeah, I mean, that's still pretty impressive now, I think. Considering we are in the most intense area in the game. Still getting around 70 FPS, which is really good. Of course, I do recommend MFG, guys, like I said before as well. But, you know, without MFG, it's still playable, I would say. Definitely still playable. But I think you are going to get more lags, more little stutters. So let's see, guys, just pop it on. Also, I just loaded the game and this car is absolutely broken right now. But yeah, we're using like 11 gigabytes of VRAM nearly, which is actually quite a lot considering, you know, it's only 4040p, but, you know, it is Cyberpunk at the end of the day, guys, so do love this game. Yeah, guys, 80 FPS in this area, it just really does, it fluctuates a lot, this FPS. That's why when I get the comments of, I'm getting this FPS, I'm getting this FPS, like, you can't really... You don't really know how much FPS you're exactly getting, because like in this area we're getting 80, but then when we go down there we could be getting 60. So, you know, when I get comments sometimes, people telling me that, you know, my card is not working right or something like that, it clearly is working well. It's just, you know, it's just wherever you are in the game, it really changes. Like, you know, outside of Dogtown we're probably going to get 100, and like people think, oh, I'm getting 100 outside of Dogtown, and that means, oh yeah, your GP must be broken because you're not getting 100 here. Doesn't work like that, guys. It really doesn't work like that. So just keep that in mind, honestly, before you comment, like, you know, test every area before you comment, you know, that my GPU's broken or something. I've been seeing so many of these comments sometimes, like on a few videos I've seen them now, like it's just that always that one person that tells me that my GPU's broken. But I guess so we're still in 4040p. I put DLSS on balance now, and of course ray tracing still on. No MFG. No path tracing at the moment, and on ultra settings still. Right. I'm getting 90s now, so I do actually recommend balance, guys. It still looks really good in this game, and you are getting a pretty decent bump in performance as well. It's hard to tell how much you're getting, really, because like I said before, the FPS keeps fluctuating all the time, especially when you're driving about into new areas. Like, it just constantly keeps fluctuating. But I would say around 10 FPS, from 5 to 10 FPS difference, so it's a pretty decent bump, especially in a game like this. You are definitely going to notice that few FPS extra, and it does feel, you know, a little bit better. The 0.1% lows and looking amazing, but it's always been like this in this game, sadly. It keeps dropping, so it is what it is. And I don't know if you guys watched the full video. I was talking before about like there's no shimmering when you enable ray tracing, and like I said, look guys, there's no shimmering anymore, literally in the grass when I enabled ray tracing. It makes no sense really, but if you guys know what that is, let me know in the comments below, because literally every time I enable just DLSS and I don't put ray tracing on, there's like weird shimmering in the grass. And in the previous videos when I was doing like the 5080, 5090 videos, I had the same issue with, you know, the grass being a bit shimmery without ray tracing, which completely makes no sense, I would say. But let me know in the comments below what you guys think, and if you know what's causing it, basically. It makes completely no sense. How can ray tracing fix the shimmering in the grass? It makes completely no sense, really. So, alrighty, guys. We're still in 4040p, DLSS on quality, and I did enable path tracing now as well. Ultra settings, as you guys can see there. And I am just testing now. I know most people are probably not even interested in path tracing, but I know there's going to be a few comments saying, oh, why did you not test path tracing? So I'm testing it real quick for you guys. There you go. So we're getting like 55, 60 FPS, which is actually not terrible considering how hard, you know, path tracing is to run in this game. So actually not too bad. Of course, it's not perfect because you do want to get over 60, so... But, you know, it's still playable at the end of the day. If you do want to have that path tracing on, it is still playable. Of course, I would recommend putting that MFG on, of course. Just to take the full advantage of this GPU. But if you don't want to, then there you go. You can play with around 55, 60 FPS. Maybe enable that DLSS balance just to get that little bump in performance. It's definitely going to be really good. You know, you definitely are going to get a little bit more FPS, so it's going to feel great. And if you are going to be playing outside of Dogtown, you definitely are going to get 60 FPS, so just keep that in mind as well. It's not too bad though. It is stuttering once in a while when you load in the new area, sadly, but it's just Cyberpunk for you, basically. I'm using 11 gigabytes of VRAM, which is not bad at all, especially with path tracing as well. I don't think it's too bad. Okay, so we're still in 44p. I was about to test MFG, but I thought, you know what, I'll test balance quickly out for you guys. So I got balance, still path tracing on as well, and ultra settings. Let me just see what kind of FPS we're going to see. Are we actually going to see consistent 60? It's still dropping below, guys. So even with balance, it's slightly dropping below sometimes. So, but it's still really good though, I think. It's still pretty decent. Would I want to play like this? Probably not, guys. Like I said before, just enable MFG, honestly. Just enable MFG. It just feels so good, especially with a high refresh rate monitor. It's going to feel great. You should be completely fine then, but if you don't want to, of course, you can play like this, but you're just going to constantly get lags and stuff, and, you know, it's going to constantly keep dropping. But you can definitely play like this if you really want to. This card just stopping out of nowhere. Alrighty, guys, so we're still at 4040p. DLSS on quality, MFG ×4 on as well, path tracing on as well, and there you go, ultra settings, guys, there you go. And we're getting around 180 FPS, which is really nice. Honestly, it really is nice. Like I said before, I really do enjoy using MFG. I really like this technology, and I think it's great. I do feel a slight delay, but it's not really that bad, guys. It really isn't, like, especially with this type of FPS. I know it's, you know, ×4 MFG and all that, but when you're getting around 170, 180 FPS with MFG, it does feel great. It does feel great, guys, especially with a high refresh rate monitor. You're going to definitely enjoy this. And these are probably the settings I would recommend with, you know, this card. You know, you're paying for that 5070 Ti. You're paying for these NVIDIA features. You're playing a basically NVIDIA sponsored game. So you do want to use the features, guys. Just honestly, just use the features and you're going to enjoy these cards way more because, you know, we listen to all these YouTubers all the time and they don't really like, you know, frame generation and all that. I was the same, guys. Trust me. I was listening to them as well. I kept thinking like, yeah, I didn't like it until I tried it, literally. Until I tried it and I actually, you know, played a few games like this and I'm really loving it now. And you are going to love your hardware more if you are going to use the features. If you're just going to keep thinking about rasterization performance and all that, like it was, you know, 10 years ago, then you're not going to be that happy with the performance of these new cards, guys, because there's so many features now that are in these games now. Just, you know, as you guys saw, we barely were getting 60 FPS. So are you going to be happy with that performance if you're spending like $700, $800 or something on the card, like wherever you guys have the prices there? And in America, I don't really know the prices there, but I would say in the UK, if you spend like £750 or £800 on their GPU, are you going to be happy with 60 FPS? You're probably not, are you? So, you know, enabling these features really helps you out a lot. So, right, guys, so we're still in 4040p, DLSS on performance, frame generation ×4, path tracing on, and ultra settings. There you go. And we're getting 240 now. So this is it, guys. So I do have a 240 hertz monitor. So yeah, this feels fantastic for me. It really does. It really does feel fantastic. I would actually recommend you guys trying out performance DLSS with these exact settings that I've got right now on your 4040p monitor and tell me if it's bad. Like, generally, you can't even feel the delay, guys. When you're getting this type of FPS, you really can't feel it. And if someone's complaining about delay with this, then I don't know if you should listen to them. You really shouldn't. Like, if the person that is telling you that you shouldn't try these settings out and you shouldn't play with MFG, ask them if they tried these cards, honestly, because I keep seeing comments about like, yeah, guys, I don't like frame generation, yeah, and all that. But have you tried MFG, guys? Have you tried on a high refresh rate monitor? Because I know a lot of people that have been arguing with me in the comments, they've actually not tried this technology. They've not tried it on a high refresh rate monitor. I know everyone's not going to be able to afford it, guys. I completely understand. But if you are already spending this money, try out this technology. You know, try it out, guys. Try it for yourself and see. 'Cause I bet most of you are going to absolutely enjoy this technology, but there is just some people in the comments discouraging it, but they've never tried the technology themselves. I literally had a guy arguing with me that has a 40 series card that he hates hates frame generation. He will never use it, and he says it under a video where I'm using, you know, MFG, and MFG is completely different to normal frame generation, guys. It feels way smoother. It feels generally way better than normal frame generation does. So I don't know, some people are still going to be saying, yeah, it doesn't and all that, but generally try it for yourself, guys. Try it for yourself on a really good monitor as well, and you're gonna please come back here if you do try it and tell me if it's really that bad, because I think most people are going to really enjoy it. But a lot of people just haven't tried it. They're talking from the experience from the 40 series, and they don't really know what they're talking about, I would say. Most people don't know what they're talking about. Alrighty, guys, so we're still in 1440p, DLSS on quality, MFG ×4, and I do have just normal ray tracing on, basically, so no path tracing, just normal RT and ultra settings as well. And we are getting like 220 FPS, so it's not bad, as you know, especially with MFG. It just feels great. Like I said before, it feels amazing. I think we're getting around the same FPS we're getting with path tracing and DLSS performance and MFG, so not bad at all, guys. Still not bad at all. Well, you know, you can still enable path tracing if you're, you know, using all the features, especially in 1440p, so that would be great as well. I mean, you can do that, as you guys saw before. It's probably my last setting I'm going to test. I think I've tested all the settings I wanted to test. Hopefully I didn't miss anything out, because I just hate seeing that one comment saying, oh, you didn't test that. I'm like, bro, I've done a 30-minute video nearly. Like, what more do you want me to show you? Flipping hell. But yeah, I mean, we're getting 220 FPS, of course, with MFG, and outside of Dogtown, you are probably going to get like 240, something like that. So, you know, this is perfect. It really is. Honestly, I can barely feel any delay, really, if any. Let me actually walk around a little bit here. Oh, these blokes, you do need to be careful with these lot. Honestly, I do love this MFG, guys. It really is fantastic technology, man. The only reason I would actually buy, you know, a 5070 Ti over the 9070 XT is for this MFG, guys. Literally, if you're really buying it for any other reason, I wouldn't really recommend that, because you are spending more, and you're not really getting that much more. Like, of course, the ray tracing is going to be slightly faster on this card and all that, but is it really worth that extra like $150 to $200 or whatever you guys have to pay extra in the US? I'm not really sure on the prices there, but most of the time it probably isn't. If you're not going to use the features, it probably isn't worth it, guys. So, and of course you do get more, like, you know, DLSS 4 is in more games as well than FSR 4, but other than that, though, there isn't really that many other reasons to get this card, really, is there? So anyway, guys, I'm going to finish the video here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and it does take a while. It took me so long to make this video because I'm going through all these settings, constantly restarting the game. So I'd appreciate if you guys dropped a like, you know, drop the comment to support the video, and see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.